Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons and AI art. And if you remember, it was about almost 2 months ago.
Has it been that long?
It's been like 2 months. Yeah.
For real?
Wizards of the Coast got in trouble for using AI-assisted, or obviously AI-assisted art.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
In their source books. Again, I don't know what they were thinking, knowing that crowd, knowing that audience, knowing where they probably stand on AI art. I was shocked that they did it, but they did it. And they got all kinds of backlash, and then they had to put a statement out like, oh, we didn't know that artist who literally their brand is AI art. We didn't know that AI artist with the name AI artist was going to do AI art in our books. You know, it's
shocker, I tell you.
Come the hell on. So they had to walk it back, and they put a statement out. Oh, we promised we're not going to put AI art in our books, and also we're not going to rape people. So they had to put the comic book thing. You remember that? All the comic book pros had to take a pledge that they weren't going to rape.
That wasn't the D&D.
Like, that's implied.
Yes, that's usually that's usually implied.
Generally speaking, when you work in any kind of an industry in any professional capacity, you shouldn't have to come out and say, yeah, I promise I'm not going to rape people. But they had to do that. And they had to promise that they weren't going to use AI art. Not that those two things are the same, but it's like they have to put these pledges up. Like, what is this? Like, I do solemnly swear I will never do the AI art. So we're going to talk about this because it's gotten pretty interesting. They've decided they're going to replace all the images now that were AI generated in the source book because of backlash from Twitter.
That's going to be expensive. So if anybody who has has it been out yet? Has the book gone out?
I guess it was out, but
I would say, so if you have a copy of the old one, it's going to be worth more money.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get a woohoo if you do. So yeah, they confirmed on Gizmo. This is Linda Codega, who's really been going in pretty hard on Wizards. And I remember when they hated Clownfish TV because we were anti-Wizards of the Coast, and now it's very fashionable. We're always ahead of the curve. We always
been a lot of times.
Always take the bullets. So they were going to revise it, and they have done that now. They replaced it. But I thought this was pretty funny. This is coming from The Onion. Dungeons and Dragons bans AI art. This is what people said. Harvey McNabb, bathroom host, says, "Thank God I shudder to think of what AI could do if armed with powerful spells like Psychic Scream or Meteor Swarm." Hosea Ratliff, singlist?
I don't know.
The only emotionless beings that should be creating D&D art are its fans. Bird Aid, another algorithm out of a job. How dare they? So basically people are like, wow, what a mountain out of a molehill. But we'll talk about this because you are not allowed to talk about AI art objectively without incurring the wrath of Twitter.
No, because if you do, you're suddenly a talentless hack.
We'll talk about this. Let's talk about this first. D&D replaces over a dozen AI-enhanced images from the recent rulebook, 13 pieces of artwork.
Wow, that's a lot when you figure out what you probably paid for each piece.
I don't know.
I mean,
not as much as they used to, but
that's true.
13 pieces of art from a recently published D&D rulebook were replaced last week with new pieces after the original artist admitted to using AI tools on the artwork. Newsflash, the artist that they hired, their entire Twitter profile is about AI art.
Right. I mean,
they just got caught. They knew damn well, oh my God, NFTs. Who could have thought the guy's got a freaking monkey NFT on a Bored Ape on his user profile? Who could have ever imagined that they were pro NFT? So they replaced 13 images from Big Bees Presents Glory of the Giants on its D&D Beyond digital compendium. The original pieces of artwork, all of which were produced by Ilya Skipping were pulled down by Wizards in August after they admitted to using AI tools to enhance the art on the pieces. A flip through of a hardcover version of the book originally provided to comicbook.com by Wizards of the Coast indicated that no other pieces of the original book were replaced on D&D Beyond. Comicbook.com reached out to Wizards to confirm that no other pieces of art besides the 13 were replaced. Wizards confirmed in a statement that the pieces were replaced due to the use of AI and referred to the community update posted in September for more information. Then they talk about the backlash and how everybody was so angry at them and they were going to boycott them again until they don't, because they always do. Every time they're like, Wizards is stealing our stuff. Oh, it's okay. They said they're sorry. Oh, Wizards sent the Pinkertons after a guy for opening a pack of Magic cards early. It's okay. They said they're sorry, and those cards look pretty good, don't they? It's like, come on, Wizards says they own our shit. I'm like,
yeah, the Wizards say they own our shit, which should be the thing that everybody remembers, and they don't.
Yeah, so
look shiny.
Pretty much, like they always go back. You guys, well, I mean, some people I think are walking away for good.
Well, I think so because now they're trying to get into schools.
Yeah. So what's going on? What's going on with this?
So apparently, Adopt a Classroom is taking applications from schools. So they're going to give out their tabletop gaming kit to over 200 U.S. classrooms to try to, get kids interested in Dungeons and Dragons. So that says to me that they're declining an audience. They're trying to go find youngins to make up new audience.
Okay,
Our original audience was youngins mostly anyway. But still.
Okay, so when I was in school, the teachers frowned upon us playing D&D.
Right, because it was satanic.
It was satanic. It was violent. Squid King played D&D in school. They had a club. And it was absolutely ridiculous. It was basically math club with dragons.
Yeah, no one was allowed to die.
You weren't allowed to die. You weren't actually hitting them. You were depleting their hit points, and then they would just go nighty-night. They'd be unconscious. They weren't actually dying. And also the monsters, they're people too, so you got to think about that. Maybe you should just try to talk your way out of a situation instead of, hurting poor fictitious animals.
Right. The coffee shop, isn't in one of the campaigns is not what they're giving away. You're saying that the initiative is to be a positive teaching tool for students. It requires efficiency in problem solving, literacy, and mathematics. Not untrue, actually. It says more than just a role-playing game that brings us together as social lives. The powerful learning tool that can be used inside and outside the classroom, offering social, emotional, and creative benefits. Your kids are emotionally stunted and don't make friends. So here's a game
they can be
that we
friends.
used to get beat up over for playing.
Yes, thank you. That I literally did not get beat up.
I didn't either. I didn't play.
But there were, a friend of mine did, not over D&D, but just because we were nerdy. But so a lot of people took a lot of crap for D&D back in the day, and now they're like, it's very popular with the kids.
I mean, they're not wrong in the fact that some of the things, and I see them with using comics for readers, because some kids like to read regular prose books. Other kids, you might be able to get them to read if you give them a comic book. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually a pretty good point where they're saying, as a teacher, they're saying it gives problem solving and literacy and mathematics and some different things I think could actually be educationally helpful. But they aren't going to do it for the goodness of their heart to be educationally helpful. They're doing it to try to get more people to buy their shit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe we live in a time when we've got the president of Wizards, Cynthia Williams, who is a huge pain in the ass, by the way. She needs to go. D&D is more than just a role-playing game that brings us together in our social lives. It's a powerful learning tool that can be, that can be used inside and outside the classroom. Through a partnership with adoptaclassroom.org, we are hoping to provide teachers the resources they need.
So here's the good news. If you're a teacher, you can apply to get the stuff for your classroom.
Grant money. They
have a bunch of, I forget how much stuff they said that's coming with it. There's like a whole kit, I guess,
oh my
that
God.
you can get. But I was thinking, to me, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, it'd be really a good opportunity for a teacher who wants to get this. But at the heart of what this is just them trying to get more crap out the kids so they can try to build their audience, is what this is about.
Yeah, and look,
they don't do it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it for a tax write-off or to try to increase their sales.
Increase their numbers. Yeah, pretty
much.
That's
what they're doing.
They're like, all the 40-year-old men have told us to go pound sand, so we're gonna.
Who are the ones that are the most, modernized and the most, willing to accept our bullshit? Kids go grab them.
D&D wants your children. Think of the children. This is the exact opposite of everything that happened when we were in school. It was just like, no, my God, those nerds are playing D&D. Ew, boo, hiss. Put your Dungeon Master guide away, little neon.
A lot of them are doing it because of Stranger Things, which is funny because they're fawning over like Eddie and stuff like that. They would have been like, talking shit about him and getting beating him up back in the day.
Yes, like it just blows my mind.
Oh my God, he's so hot. He's not really.
But hey, at least there won't be any AI art in these books going forward. So there's that. We can teach kids how to be terrified of technology. Yeah,
right. But
be open-minded about D&D. But oh my God, guys, technology. Now look, I think this was obviously fakey AI. But
I can't believe I even got this far. Like, I mean, no one caught this stuff. Like the axe is literally in the wolf, and no one caught it.
Yeah, right. It's like, did you count the fingers? I mean, you can go in and tweak it a little bit. But it looks like she's got like 2 more fingers here. But,
no, there are 5, but
I don't know. Like none of this work. Like look how big his head is, and this guy's supposed to be in the foreground, and like he's got a little tiny head. You know what I'm saying? It's just it doesn't.
And the horns aren't lined up right.
No. So yeah, I mean this is whatever. But yeah, anymore it's like you can't even discuss AI art at all. You can't have a rational, reasonable discussion about it without it blowing up into some big Twitter drama bullshit. Because if you're even like, hey, maybe AI could be useful in the right hands for artists that are maybe strapped for time, if it's not scraping other people's stuff and you train it to draw like you, just more of you.
The kicker is this not going to go away. It's not going to go away. There can be limitations put on it. It's not going to go away. People are going to use it as a tool, just like digital art came and everybody started using it as a tool, and now it's more used than going to paper and stuff like that. It's going to be used as a tool. And people don't like that. And I'm sorry you don't like that. And while I can agree on points and disagree on other points, because I think that it can be overused, and I think there should be guidelines for sure. It shouldn't be allowed to scrape your stuff at all, unless you want it to. People are just like automatically like, you're just a talentless hack or whatever, because you said that, it's a tool that's going to be here and people are going to use it.
Yep.
Because it's the truth. Whether you like it or not doesn't make it, not liking it doesn't make it untrue.
Yeah. So, I mean... Yeah, there's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother video, and this might actually be a podcast episode at some point. I think I need to get into this some, but anyway, there we go, guys. Wizards, thank God they're replacing all the offensive AI art, and now they're just going to go back to sending the Pinkertons to your house.
No, and they're sending their kids to schools.
Yes.
And again, if you're a teacher and you want to apply for that, if you go to that article, there's a link to how to apply.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.